over 11, we've got x minus 3 over x squared plus 7x plus 12 plus x plus 1 over x squared minus 16. Okay, so adding and subtracting, we have to have common denominators. So before we know where the common denominators are, what do I got to do with these? Factor them down. Okay, so I got to do my two parentheses. Okay, this tells me the signs are going to be the same. Same what? So you look here. So since it's a plus, then therefore it would be plus plus. Split up my x's, and then you read backwards. What are your factors of 12 that would add to give you 7? 3 and 4. And it doesn't matter where I put them because the signs are the same. Okay? Perfect square binomial, so it's not the same sign. They're going to be different signs. So one's a plus, one's a minus. I split up my x's, and then what is the square root of 16? 4. Okay, so now we're comparing the denominators. Okay, so I have an x plus 3, but that one doesn't. So that means whatever I multiply on the bottom, I've also got to multiply it on the top. Okay, so now they both have an x plus 3. This one has an x plus 4, this one has an x plus 4, so this one's missing
X minus 4.
Okay, so whatever I multiply on the bottom, I've got to multiply on the top. Okay, so I've got my common denominator. Okay, please do not put that one back together. Like, leave it. You're wasting time doing that. But we have to put the numerators, like we have to distribute that. So we're going to distribute one numerator and the other one before we put them together. Okay? So x times x would give me x squared. That gives me a negative 4x and a negative 3x. So that would be a negative 7x. And then a negative times a negative would make it a positive 12. Okay, so now we're going to do that to the other one. So x times x is x squared. Okay, so I have another x squared. And I'll have 3x. Okay, going there, and a 1x there, so that would be 4x. And then 1 times 3 would make it 3. Okay, so now we just need to combine our like terms. So I have an x squared and x squared, so that means I have 2 of them. Okay, then I have an x here and an x here, but the signs are different, so I subtract, which would be negative 3x. Okay, and then 12 and 3, so 15. Okay, and all of that is over the 3 denominator, so x plus 3, x plus 4, and then x minus 4. And it doesn't matter the order of those parentheses. Yes?
12.
12. Okay. Nope. Okay. So number 12, we've got 3x over y to the second z to the third plus 4 over y to the fourth z to the fifth. Okay, so common denominators again, because we're adding and subtracting. This one has 2 y's, this one has 4 y's. So this one's missing how many more? 2, right? Okay, so I would need to put another 2 here, right? Because when I combine that, that would be 4. Whatever I put on the bottom, I've also got 2. Right. Okay, so now my y's match up. This one has 5 z's, this one only has 3, so this one needs 2 more. Okay, whatever I put on the bottom, I've got to put on the top. Okay, so our common denominator is y to the fourth and z to the fifth, because if I put those together, it would get to the same thing. Can I combine these numerators? No, because when we're adding and subtracting, they have to be like terms. Okay, so we just write that. So it would be 3xy squared z squared. And these typically, proper-wise, would be alphabetical, so x, y, z. It's not wrong if they're flipped around, it's just not like when we read the answer, they'll be written in that order.
What if it's 3x plus 4 and then y squared z squared?
No, because that means you moved it to that
Or-
side. Yeah. And it was moved to this side. Whatever you do the bottom side. Okay, yes. 18. Okay. Oh my gosh, I keep doing that. Okay, you have the original written down, right? Okay. I'm not gonna write the original down on this one, because this one is one where we have to do all 4 of them factoring, so I'm just gonna write the factoring part here. Okay, so this is number 18. So the top is t squared minus 9. So that makes it a perfect square binomial, so that means one's a plus, one's a minus. I'm gonna split up my t's, and then the square root of 9 would be 3. Okay, so I've done number first one. The next one down ends in a negative, so that means the signs are going to be different. I would split up my t's, and then I read it backwards. What are my factors of 3 that subtract to give me 2?
3 and 1.
3 and 1. Okay, so my second term is a positive, so that means I'm going to put the 3 behind the positive. Okay, so this is a division one, so we keep it, and then division changes to multiplication, and then we flip our second one. So on top was t squared minus 9, so it's not on top anymore, it's going to be on the bottom. So signs will be different. Split up my t's, and the square root of 9 would be 3. Okay, and then what was at the bottom is now going to go to the top. The last term was a positive, so it means the signs are going to be the same. Same what? So you look at your second term, and it was a negative, so they're both going to be negatives. Okay, split up my t's. And then we read it backwards. What are my factors of 2 that add to give me 3? 1 and 2. And it doesn't matter where I put it, okay, because they're the same sign. Okay, do I need common denominators?
No.
No, because we're not adding and subtracting, we're multiplying. So what is my last step now? Cross cancel. And common mistake is people think it has to be coming from the same fraction. It doesn't have to come. It could be any top with any bottom. So it could be here to there or here to there. It doesn't matter. Okay? So t plus 3, so like I can get rid of that one or that one. Just choose one. Okay? T minus 3. Okay? T minus 1. Got any others? No. So t minus 2 over t plus 3. Okay, yes.
I just need the answer.
22. X minus 12 on top. And then over 4 times x plus 4, or you can have 4x plus 16. Okay, others? Yes. 7. Good, I'm glad somebody asked about this. Okay, number 7 is x plus 3 over x minus 3, and then x squared minus 9 over 3 minus 6. Okay, so we're going to keep this, right? We change this, or you say dot, and then we're going to flip this one. Okay, now all of our expressions when we're doing multiplication, if they're variables, they always start with a positive number, okay? Well, I need to rewrite this one, and so if I were to flip that around and make the x first, it doesn't give me a positive x. So we said we could rewrite it by taking a negative 1 out, and then switching the signs, because that would now make that x positive and that 3a negative. So this and this are the same thing, because if I were to distribute that, that gives me a negative x. Distribute that, that gives me a positive. Okay, we're just trying to make it easier so we can cross cancel. Okay, and then this one now needs to be broken down. What are my signs? When it's a negative. Okay, positive, negative, split up the x's, and then square root of 9 would be 3. Okay, so we're just cross canceling like terms. So x plus 3, x plus 3, x minus 3 again, it's either that one or that one, it doesn't matter. Okay, so what's left on top?
Negative 1.
Negative 1 over
X minus 3.
x minus 2. Pattern's the same every single time on those ones. Okay. Others. None. Okay, Brock is good. Brock is good. You are all golden.
Number 2.
Ah, see. Okay, number 2. Good, because there's 2 negatives on that one. That's a good one. I am a creature of habit, I swear to God. Okay, number 2 is a negative 4 over, and I'm going to go ahead and factor. This needs to be factored. signs the same, they're both gonna be plus x and x. Factors of 10 that add to give me 7.
5 and 2.
5 and 2. It doesn't matter where I put it, because they have the same sets. Okay, and then minus 6 over x plus 2. Okay, x plus 2, x plus 2, x plus 5, that one doesn't have one. Okay, so that means I would need to, whatever I multiply on the bottom, multiply on the top. Okay, so we have our common denominator now. Okay, I didn't have to change this numerator. Okay, so it stays the same. But this one, I need to distribute that negative 6 to what I was multiplying on the top. So negative 6 times x would be a negative 6x. So negative 6 times 5 would be a negative
35. Or 30.
30. Okay, so the only two like terms I have would be those two, right? So a negative 6x minus 34 over your common denominator. See what it did? Okay. I've been seeing all day today, people will distribute the negative one time, but not to the second one. So if there's a negative out there, it goes with it each time. Okay. You good? One more? Yes?
Well, I was did number 1 start with the negative 3?
Number 1 is negative 2x. Minus
Or
11.
like the original problem?
Oh, the original was a negative 3 over, yeah. It was similar to number 2. There was 2 negatives. Any others? Okay, names and scores on those. Pass that forward.